Hey everyone, if you're using Python, you're definitely using lists. I mean, they're everywhere. But are you really getting the most out of them? Today, we're going to hack the list and dive into the 3 essential ways to grab any element you want. Let's get into it. So think about it for a second. You've got this perfectly ordered collection of items. Could be names, prices, whatever. They're all lined up. But how do you reach in with your code and pull out the exact one you're looking for? That's the puzzle we're solving today. And the tool for that job, of course, is the Python list. The key words here are ordered and changeable. Now, the best way I found to think about a list is to picture a train. Seriously, each item you put in the list is like a piece of cargo, and each one sits in its own numbered car. This train analogy is going to make everything click. You'll see. All right, first stop on our tour is the method you'll probably use 90% of the time, accessing items from the front of the train. This is what we call positive indexing. It's your standard ticket to get on board. Okay, before we even write a line of code, you have to burn this into your brain. This is the golden rule of Python lists. Counting does not start at 1. It starts at 0. The very first car on our train is always car number 0. Not 1, 0. Got it? Good. So let's look at our first train. It's carrying a list called fruits. In car 0, we've got an apple. In car 1, a banana. And in car 2, a cherry. Simple enough. So if we want to grab that first piece of cargo, the apple, how do we do it? Well, we use the name of our list, fruits, and then we add a pair of square brackets. Inside those brackets, we just put the number of the car we want to look inside. So for the first item, we ask for car number 0. And boom, just like that, Python goes to our fruits train, finds the car at index 0, and hands us the apple. We've got our cargo. Easy, right? Okay, let's get to our next method. This one is a fantastic shortcut. Think of it as a pro tip, a secret passage to get cargo from the back of the train without having to run all the way from the front. This is negative indexing. Now, why would you need this? Well, here's a super common situation. Your train might have 3 cars today, but tomorrow it could have 3,000. You don't know how long it is, but your code always needs the item from the very last car. Counting from the front would be a total nightmare. So, what do? This is where negative indexing is just brilliant. While positive indexing starts at 0 from the left, negative indexing starts counting from the right, and it begins with -1. So -1 always means the last item. Always. -2 is the second to last, and so on. It's like a mirror image that just works. Let's see it in action. Here's a new train. This one's carrying a list of numbers, 10, 20, 30, and 40. Our mission is to grab that last item, the 40, without caring how long the list is. So instead of trying to figure out, okay, there are 4 items, so the last index is 3, we just use the shortcut. We simply tell Python, hey, give me the item at index -1. It's so clean, so readable, and it just works every time. And there it is. Python gives us 40. We grabbed the cargo from the caboose, and we never even had to count the cars. So remember, -1 is your best friend when you need that last element. All right, you've totally mastered grabbing single cars from the front and the back. But what if you need a whole section of the train? Not just one piece of cargo, but a continuous chunk of it. For that, we need to level up to our most powerful technique, slicing. Now, the syntax for this can look a little weird at first, but I promise it's simple. You use a colon inside the square brackets. The number before the colon is your start index. That's the first car you want to include. The number after the colon is the stop index. And here is the absolute key, the part everyone forgets. The slice goes up to the stop index, but it does not include it. It stops one car before that number. Let's check out our final train for this explainer. It's carrying a list of test scores, which we've called marks. We've got 85, 90, 78, 92, and 88. Okay, let's say our goal is to grab just the middle 3 scores, the 90, the 78, and the 92. Let's figure this out. The first one we want, 90, is the second item, which means its index is 1. So our start is 1. Now, the last item we want is 92, which is at index 3. So do we stop at 3? Nope. Remember the rule? We have to go 1 past the last item we want, so our slice becomes 1, 4. Let's trace that one more time just to see it work. The slice starts at index 1 and grabs the 90. Great. It moves on to index 2 and grabs the 78. Perfect. It continues to index 3 and grabs the 92. Awesome. Then it looks ahead, sees the stop value is 4, and it hits the bricks. It stops before touching index 4, so the 88 is not included. And look at the result. It's not a single number. It's a whole new, shorter list that contains just the elements we asked for. We've literally sliced a section clean off our original train. Wow, we have covered a lot of ground. So let's pull into the final station and do a quick recap of the 3 powerful tools you now have in your toolkit for getting at any element in a Python list. This little table here is your new cheat sheet. It really boils it all down. If you need something from the beginning of the list, use positive indexing like mylist0. If you need an item from the end, especially that last one, negative indexing with mylist-1 is the fastest and cleanest way. And of course, whenever you need a whole chunk of the list, slicing with that start-stop syntax is your go-to move. So you are now a master at pulling data out of a list. You can pinpoint items from the front, snag them from the back, or grab entire sections. But that brings us to the next big question, doesn't it? We said lists were changeable. So, how would you use these exact same techniques to not just read an item, but to actually reach in and change it? Something to think about for next time.